Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Wait till everybody get into the room before we get started. If this is the first time you've been in one of my live streams, my name is Brill. I'm the creator of Pedestal Wife Society. And today I want to talk about getting to the ring is easy. Getting to the ring is easy, okay? A woman can get the man she wants or needs. Brill looks gorgeous as usual. Thank you. Thank you. Just glue up already. Thank you. I appreciate you. It's good to see some familiar faces in the live stream. Hey, Mona, Lisa. Hey. All right, so first of all, if you are a member of the Pedestal Wife Society, please take the time to go ahead and announce in our group that I am live. And so I'm going to let everybody kind of get settled, and then we're going to get started. We're going to have this conversation. All right, so don't be scared. If you've been in one of my live streams before, please go ahead and leave me a comment. Because I see a lot of new faces, but I do see some familiar usernames. I don't want to call them out just in case I'm wrong or something, you know. I may be wrong, and I don't want to be wrong. All right. All right. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of the Pedestal Wives of this community. I appreciate all of my members. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because it's due to your support that I continue to go live and I continue to teach and I continue to push the page forward. So, getting to the ring is easy. Most women don't understand that getting to the ring is easy. The only decision that a woman needs to make is if she is with a man that she wants or needs. And this may be a familiar conversation for people who've been following me for a very long time. Because if you took any of my workshops and you heard this, we've had this conversation before. We've talked about the fact that a woman can get with a man that she wants or she needs. Women have feminine energy. So this allows women to have chameleon-like characteristics and being able to go with the flow and being able to conform, mold, create the things that they desire. So this gives them the ability to be with the man that she wants or she needs. Now let's talk about the difference, because there is a difference. And in no way am I shaming women who wants to be with the man that they want or the man that they need. Okay? This is not that type of conversation. I know that I have a lot of new followers, so you don't realize that I don't concern myself about good or bad. Literally remove that out of your vocabulary when we're having these conversations, because I don't think in the terms of this is a good person, this is a bad person. I just think it's people. People are going to be people. They're going to keep people in every single day. That is my perspective and how I look at the world, and that's how I teach. So when we have this conversation of wanting a man or being with the man that she needs, it's not to say, hey, this is right or this is wrong. Remove that from your vocabulary, remove that from your thinking, because I don't operate from that perspective. Yes, I've been here before. I found you on YouTube. I like you on Pinterest too. Absolutely. And I've been dropping the ball on getting back on Pinterest, but we got some things moving behind the scenes. So I'll be absolutely doing some new content for Pinterest too. But a woman, the ring is easy. Women make getting the ring hard when it's not hard at all. Men are very simple beings. They're simple to deal with. We just think that they're not, because we tend to look at men as though that they are women with mustaches. We think that they are like us and they are not. And that is the issue. So when we're dealing with the man that you want, which is the man that you desire to possess or be with, or the man that you need, which is important or a necessity, you have to determine which category this man is in. So let's go through an example of what that looks like. Because I'm starting to figure out, the longer that I do this, the longer that I mentor women, the longer that I engage and teach women, I realize that a lot of women are with men that they want. These are the men that they desire. These are the men that they want to be with. And this is how you end up with situations where you're with the man, but he hasn't proposed to you, and y'all been together for 5 years or 6 years or 7 years or 10 years. Yes, 10 years. I have a video that's in the archives that I haven't posted yet of a young woman getting married, and they've been together for 10 years. Like I said, I have no judgment about that because I can tell it's the one man that she wants. And if you're dealing with the man that you need, there is a mutual respect, a mutual benefit that comes from that. And then also there is, he pours into you, you pour into him, you become better and he becomes better. When a woman is with the man that they want, the man that they desire, the man that they are wanting to be with, what happens is usually that's a one-way street. Like I said, no judgment here now. I'm just setting up I'm just explaining what it is and what you're seeing. Since women have this ability to either be with the man that they want or the man that they need. And since we are feminine energy beings, what happens, we tend to conform, mold, and contort ourselves to be with a man. Or we have another path where we continue to be and just become the best versions of ourselves, and we tend to attract men that we need. So there is a difference between those categories. Today, what we're going to talk about, I'm going to expand on my other lessons when I taught Energetically Feminine, and I taught women how to get certain information from men. I'm going to go back to the drawing board since we have so many new followers, and I'm going to teach you that process, especially if you're with a man that you want. If you're with a man that you done had a baby by, that you're currently living with, you want him to put a ring on it, he ain't put no ring on it, we can get you that ring in 90 days. Men are just that simple. You just have to understand certain things going in. So that's the reason why I'm setting it up before I even get to the juicy information, so that you'll realize, I want you to think about, is this something you truly desire or you want? Because I'm going to disqualify some men also in this conversation. Yeah, people also want to get back with their ex, which is an entire cottage industry. Absolutely. And those videos, if I was to do a video, hey, how to get your ex back, and 10 ways, or tell you how to do that, women would love that video. That video will probably go viral. And I can actually teach you how to do it. Okay. Marjorie is with the guy she wanted, who spoils her. Well, I think that it's a woman's decision. That's the reason why I said there's no judgment to this. I don't have a dog in that fight. I don't have anything, riding on you if you decide to be with the man you want or be with the man that you need. I just need you to realize that there are two categories. Either he is the man that you want, and he's basically the man that you desire to possess. You desire to be with him. Or the man that you need. This is necessity. This is the man that's absolutely going to help you glow up as a woman and help you to become the better version of yourself. Every woman has a choice to that. And what that normally looks like, when a woman decides, I want to be with the man I want. This is the woman that usually ends up being in a relationship where you have been going years and you haven't been proposed to. Because this is the man that you want. I'm not saying he doesn't want you. I'm not saying he doesn't care about you. I would have to actually have more context, more information to even make that determination. But I'm going to tell you that's the man that you want. And being with the man that you want, there are certain things that you could do in order to get the ring if you so desired to. Women, there's only thing, I'm going to give you 2 rules. Because I want to make this simple. The training is longer than this, but I'm trying to condense multiple videos into an hour's worth of training so women can get the point, okay? But can someone really have an ex or a 10-year weight place them on a pedestal? A woman can be where she wants to be. It's very much possible to be on a pedestal, even if they've been together for 10 years and it took him 10 years to marry her. I'm not going to say you can't. You can. There's certain things you have to do, and you can make it happen. Even if you withhold sex, let me tell you this. You don't have to withhold sex. Not necessarily. When I say withhold sex, I'm actually talking for the women who actually want to get married in like 90 or 6 months or a year. If you have a certain time limit that you want to get married, you're going to withhold sex. But you can't unpop the vagina, okay? If you already having sex with him, you can't unpop it. You can't change it. The past is the past. So the thing is, there's other things you're going to have to do to move forward to get him to get the ring. Like, let me tell you this. There's something called mating strategies. All of us have our mating strategies on how we have what we have or how we attract the right type of men that we desire. The mating strategy that's currently used right now is to get engaged to a man first of all, the relationship lasts for a total of 2 years, right? You're sleeping with him the entire time. And during that time, you go through boyfriend and girlfriend. After that, you wait 2 years and he should propose and then you're fiance. Then after that, you get married within that year's time. So that is the mating strategy that most women have been taught. And I'm going to tell you, my grandmother didn't teach me that one. She taught me that after a certain amount of time, if I want to get married, I don't offer to be a man's girlfriend. And I don't offer sex at all because he's going to want to get and move things a lot faster without sex. But if you've already, like I said, you've already unpopped the vagina. It's already, you done that. You done what you can, do what you will. There's nothing you can do to change the past. Only thing you can do is move forward. And now you have to make a decision and determine, is this the guy that I want? This is the guy that I need. Either way, the process to getting the ring is the same. The process is the same. I withheld sex for years. I never slept with a man. He did not want marriage. Went on to date and not marry another woman who actually moved in with him. I was offered an allowance. Okay. All right. There's certain things I can speak to that. Sex is not going to move that. It's not the only determiner to getting the ring. Okay. Not having sex with me is not the only way. Like I said, we all have a different mating strategies, and I wasn't taught that. So when I got married, I was taught to not entertain girlfriend or boyfriend status at all. So I did not entertain that. So I got 3 proposals, and I chose my husband. There was the other 2 guys. I felt like those were the guys that I wanted, but my husband is the guy that I needed, and I chose the guy that I needed because I knew that it would be less, it would be, I don't want to use the word traumatic, but I'm going to say it would be less, I would get more support in being with the men that I need versus the men that I want. And I had other aspirations and I wanted options. It was all about options for me. Like I have an optional marriage of working. I don't have to ever work. I could literally just never cut on the live stream, never have a business, never do anything. I could just sit at home and I could just relax. And I've had this option for 23 years. That's a long time to have the options I have. So I wanted options, and the men that I wanted, I would have had to change certain things about myself in order to fit into their lives. And I didn't want that. And see, that's the difference between being with the men that you want and being a man that you need. When you're with the men that you want, you're gonna have to conform. You're gonna have to change. And see, this is what women don't want to hear. You can have him. Okay? Remember, no judgment. I don't have, in my vocabulary, I do not use bad or good, right or wrong, based off my perspective of life. Okay? But if you want him, you desire him, you're gonna have to change to fit in his life. You're gonna have to change to fit into that role. And see, that's what women don't understand. So when you make this decision, you look at the man that's in front of you. You need to determine, is he the man that I want? Is he the man that I desire? The man that I want to, the man that I desire? Or is he the man that I need? Is this man going to help me become the better version of woman that I want to become? Is he going to, you got to think long term. You got to think the whole story in order to make the right decision. So you have to make a decision. And either way, it's going to be some of the same tips I'm going to give you. If he's the man that you want or the man that you need, I'm still going to give you some similar tips in order to get that ring on your finger in 90 days. And I did say 90 days. I said 90 days because you can literally, if you have been with this man for 5, 10, 15, I don't know how long, y'all really be staying out there a long time with the man, and that be the man that you want, and he hasn't moved forward and proposed to you, you can get a ring on your finger in 90 days. If you follow the steps I'm going to give you, step by step. Don't be sitting here trying to, don't try to change the process either. Follow it step by step by step to get the ring on your finger in 90 days. Exactly dating only. Okay, exactly dating only for marriage. Absolutely, you have to make that decision, because that's what I did when I got out of school, and I realized it would be better off for me to be married, because I really, honestly, just going to be honest, looking back at me as a young woman, I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I knew being married is something that I wanted to do. I wanted to get married. I wanted to kind of settle down. So I got married and I settled down. And I dated for marriage only. Like, I didn't date to be someone's girlfriend for 5 years. I didn't. Any time that was offered to me, I declined it because I was dating for marriage. You think my husband didn't offer that to me? He did. He wanted to lock me down. When men come across women that they want, they try to lock them down because they have what we call sexual jealousy, where they are jealous of any type of man that you interact with, and they don't want you to be out there dealing with any other men. So they have sexual jealousy. It's a good thing to have sexual jealousy, because if a man doesn't have sexual jealousy about you, that ain't your person. I made a serious mistake. He wanted me to meet his daughter, etc. I declined. I was cutting myself out of photos with him before sending them to him. Oh my God. I think, I lost it that quick. Oh my God, I think that is so beautiful. I love it. A woman with options. This is so sweet. I like her husband. He helps us get this content, which I personally appreciate him. I say to you, we can have the best man for it. You can have, let me go ahead and tell you a secret. Men don't have the power in these dynamics. We just think that they do because we've been taught and socially conditioned that they have the power in these dynamics. They do not. Men are literally waiting on your cues, and we give so much away of ourselves, and we give the blueprint of ourselves away to men so easily. What's the difference between a need and wanting a man? See, the thing is, I want you to make sure that you're not thinking in our own. We're not on any type of codependent thing either. Okay? When I say need, this is the man that I'm going to be with that's going to help me become the better version of myself. And the man that I want, this is the man that I desire. This is the man that I'm really attracted to. This is the man probably I don't have a baby by. This is the man that I like spending time with and I have fun with. But this man, he will benefit from my energy and I will not. See, that's the thing you need to realize. When you're thinking about if I'm going to need or want this man, I want you to think of the bigger picture. Think about being with this man. Think about 5 years with that man. In 5 years, will you feel that you've grown as a woman and became better? Because I sure did. I became better on all levels. Not only more spiritually attuned, more woman in my womanhood, more secure in my feminine energy. I became better. I grew and just evolved as a woman. This is because I'm with a man that I needed. He's a necessity, but not on any codependent things. I'm not about the codependency. I truly do believe that women should have their lives, and he should have his life, and then y'all are able to come together and create a life. But usually the man that women want, these are the men that we let get away with a lot of things. Just be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's be honest here. We all women, right? We all grown women on this live stream. Most time, the man that we want is the man that we let get away with a lot of things. He should have put a ring on your finger. And let me go ahead and just make you not like me right now. I believe if he put a ring on your finger, he should put a marriage certificate in front of you. That's what I believe. These are my own personal beliefs. You don't have to believe in marriage yourself. You can decide, oh, I want none of that. She just talking whatever, that rah, rah, rah. This is my personal belief. If he if he was with you long enough to put a baby in you, you're good enough for him to sign a marriage certificate. I believe that. So if you already in this situation, and this is the man that you want, you already have kids with him, why not have him go ahead and put that ring on your finger? Let him slide that marriage certificate over so you can go ahead and sign your name. So that is what my personal beliefs are. You don't have to believe in that. And the man that we need, this is the man that's going to support us on our journey into womanhood, into becoming better, and support our dreams. And pour into us so that we can show up and be our best versions of ourselves. So there's a big difference from the man that you want and the man that you need. And you can tell when you think about a life with him, the man that you need, you can literally see that you're going to grow as a woman, that you're going to get better, that it's just going to get even more interesting being with him. Like, it's going to be a life worth living. And I'm not saying that it's not going to be a life worth living when it comes with the man that you want, because as a married woman myself, I have been around couples. I can tell when she is with a man that she wants or a man that she needs. And there's a big difference. With couples that I've noticed that is with the man that she needs, she has grown. She's the type of woman that not only has she probably created herself, a community, or she has evolved and went to school and some type of learning. She's done something that's just for her. And he supported her all the way on that journey. But when a woman has married the man that she wanted, a lot of times she had to let go some of the things that she wanted to do that may have improved her and helped evolve her as a woman, because what she was trying to do was continue to have him, to keep him safe. And seeing that from a married woman perspective and seeing these couples, that's the reason why I say women have a choice. You have a choice. You can just decide, I'm going to be with a man that I need, or I'm going to be with a man that I want. And you have to look at the bigger picture and see where you're going to be in 5 years and see which one is going to work better for you. And I'm not saying the woman that married the man that she wanted, that she was unhappy. Absolutely not. Do y'all realize there's some women out here that's very much happy just being under the covering of a man and just allowing that man to completely take over? Like, there's some women who are happy with that. They're happy with not having to put any more energy into becoming better. There's some women that's happy with that. So that's the reason I'm saying there's no judgment here. Like, I don't got no dog in this fight. One of my number one rule is, in order for you to continue to stay young and beautiful, you got to drink your water and mind your business. So I've met couples that are happy in that situation where they're with the man that they want. And I've met couples that are happy and they married the man that they needed. You have to make the determination, which one is going to be for me. I refused to be a life partner. He was saying maybe to marriage, and then finally never marrying any woman. I found that he was placed on child support during the time he was saying his stuff. Woo, that's a lot. Greetings from Germany. Hey, the mean being. Hello. I need a mind my business class for real. Many of us do. I mind my business. Like, I just observe, and I realize that some women are with the men that they want. And usually what it looks like, it's on his timetable. It's not on yours. A lot of times when a woman is with the man that she wants, she loses out on some of the time that she could have been evolving and becoming a better person for herself in her womanhood and her feminine energy and evolving. She loses out because she is creating safe spaces for him. She is trying to fit into his world. And she is doing things that is overall, he will become better doing it. And she's happy doing so. And some women are happy doing it. Like I said, it's none of my business. I'm not going to say it's right or wrong. I'm just saying I've seen women on both sides of the spectrum happy. So you can make a choice. You need to decide, is this the man that I want, or is this the man I need? So let's get through some disqualification. Let me disqualify some men first, because you need to disqualify. When it comes down to whether you're with the man that you need or want, I'm going to tell you right now, you got 2 rules. And the 2 rules are this. You need to vet thoroughly. And if you don't want to vet thoroughly, you need to vet for values at least. Values is what's going to carry a relationship forward. And it's going to help you to create intimacy and bonding. And it's absolutely desired the more years that you add to a relationship. So number one is going to be vet thoroughly. And number two, he cannot have any addictions. If he has any addictions, and let me go ahead and call them out because I want to be thorough in the addictions. Tobacco, drugs, alcohol, gambling, porn, sex, social media, power, control, eating, any of those things. If it's too much of a good thing, it's never enough. You have to realize, and let me tell you why the addictions matter. Addictions matter because the male brain is a reward center. If you've taken my Unlocking the Male Mind, or you've been around when I was teaching this, the male's brain is a reward center. So if he already has an addiction, that is the place that you will not be able to touch. He already has something that makes him feel good. He already has something that gets those beautiful, happy endorphins running through his bloodstream. You can't replace that because he's going to get his high from drugs. He's going to get his high from sex. He's going to get his high from porn. He's going to get his high from social media. He may even get his high from food. So these are two things that I would say, if the man suffers from any of these things, no matter if he's the man that you need or you want, I would say abort mission. Get you another one, because this will be a difficult road to bear. It's going to be a burden to deal with that type of man. And so this also goes to his sexual discipline. If he's already sleeping around, sleeping with Sally, Katie, Sue, he's already has an issue with sex. You cannot take the place of that in order to activate his reward center. And with being with a man, regardless if it is a man that you want or need, you have to be able to activate that reward system. Remember, love does not happen overnight the way that they've taught you on social media. I know, right? Anything that sounds too good to be true, y'all got to start side-eyeing it. If you realize that people are teaching you that you can get or have love very quickly, they're lying to you, because it is already been scientifically researched that men take up to 4 years to fall in love. That is the reason why it's not meant for you to fall in love. It's meant for you to grow in love. It's meant for you to go through those stages so that you can grow in love, get bonded, attached, and then you're in love. So I'm not going to go through the whole process of that. That's in Unlocking the Male Mind. But let's talk about these 2 rules. So these are the 2 rules that I'm going to tell you off gate. It doesn't matter if he is the man that you need or want. Please avoid, abort mission if he has any type of addictions. And if you're not willing to vet thoroughly, then abort mission. Like, if you're not willing to do all the things that I indicate, or if you're a part of my membership and I teach you all the ways to vet, and you don't want to do any of those things, at least find out where his values are. Figure out what's valuable to him, because that's going to help you to see if y'all going to have anything that you can have for long term. Because values is really what keep us together. It is not, money is great, money is good, but money is not the number one thing that's going to keep you through those long years. It's going to be values. So you want to make sure you vet thoroughly for the value. Make sure the value system that you have is the value system that he has. So let's get into the next part. I'm going to give you a way to get a ring on your finger. And matter of fact, let me know in the comment section. Is there anyone in this situation? Like, do you want to get married in 90 days? Like, anybody want to get married in 90 days because they already didn't have a baby by a man? Like, if you don't have a baby by him, let me know in the comment section. Don't be scared. Nobody ain't gonna judge you here. Trust, we do not do right or wrong or bad or good. It's none of my business. It's just that I feel like we need to have a deeper conversation and actually help women instead of doing this, the sensationalist stuff that we do in order for social media to keep thriving the way it thrives, and no real information is really being given. Like, all the information that I come across, I can tell you it don't work. One of the things I am is, not only am I a married woman, I try things so that you don't have to. Can we get a ring if he has blocked us? If he blocked you, men normally don't block women. Like, you would have to, I'm not going to say no. I need to know more information. I need to know context. I need the whole story. I know you put pieces of it. I need it all together so I can read it all together. I'm gonna give you something to look at, and then you can determine if you can still get the ring from here or not. How about that? Like, because you'll be able to tell from based on what I'm going to tell you. People are simple. Everyone that you're currently dating or interacting with, men and women, every woman is a sum of their childhood. Everyone is either trying to enact their childhood or correct it. I'm gonna pause right there because that statement is so important. If you were to look at families, you're gonna see that they have consistently doing the same thing over and over and over. Let me give you an example. Let's say, for instance, you come from a family where every woman in the family never got married, and it's unconsciously that this is happening. If only time that we can actually change these things is when we start to become self-aware. We start to be aware and we start to course correct. And I'm going to say, based off my childhood per se, I come from a family that we did get married, but my mom chose not to. So if I would have just followed along with what I saw, I could have possibly just followed in her footsteps. It's easy to do. It's easy to do because most of us are unaware that we are just enacting the things of our childhood. We're creating the family that we come from. And see, and that's the reason I'm letting you know this, because I want you to be super aware of what's happening in your life, and so that you can also turn the mirror on him so you can get the reflection and figure out what's going on in his. Once you realize that either we're trying to enact the childhood that we come from, or we're trying to course correct the childhood that we come from, people become very simple. And this is Psychology 101. Psychology 101. And this is men and women across the board. Now, if your intention, you've already had the baby, and like I said before, and I know some men are not going to agree with this, it's just my personal belief. If you cared enough about her to put a baby in her stomach, you can care enough about her to put a ring on her finger. And so what we can do is, let's talk about in 90 days getting that ring. How do you get the ring in 90 days? First of all, you have to determine, is this the man that I need or want? The process is going to be the same for both. It doesn't matter if you need or want. It matters more about the bigger picture. That's what it matters about. You have to be able to look 5 years down the line and be like, okay, if I go and be with the man that I want, the man that I desire, that is going to be about him. It's going to be about his timeline. It's going to be about fitting in his life. If you're with the man that you need, it's going to be growth on both of your parts. We're both going to grow. We're both going to evolve. It's going to be mutually beneficial in the relationship that we need. Get me? Make sure if I'm losing you, slow me down, because I have the tendency when I get into it, I get going. So if you're in this situation in particular, and I'm speaking to the women who had the, either women who had the baby, and you want marriage, and he hasn't proposed to you. And this can also be with the man that you need, that you realize that you're going to be good together. That just you and him down the line, you're going to grow, and he's going to grow. So you have to make that determination first. Is he the man that I need? Is he the man that I want? Now, step one is for you to figure out the family dynamics. Most of us are unconsciously operating from our family dynamics. We're operating from the young woman who possibly did not have a father and coming from a family that did not value marriage. And we operate from that. So we accept things that we normally wouldn't accept if we really were to think about the big picture. Are we together so far? So number one is the family dynamics. You are required to go and look at his family dynamics. It's not for you to comment on. It's not for you to make snarky remarks on. It's for you to observe and become self-aware. It's time to wake up. It's time to look at his family and ask yourself these certain questions. Is he coming from a family that values marriage? Is he coming from a family that values family? Is he coming from a family that is dysfunctional? Is he coming from a family? Oh, not is he coming from it. Who has the influence in the relationship? Who influences him? Influence is a big thing. That's the reason why next month in October, we're going to talk all about influence and do a workshop based off influence. Because who influences him? Is it his mama that influences him? Is it his friends that influence him? Is it a family member that influences him? So your number one job, if you're trying to get the ring in 90 days, you have to find out the family dynamics. You have to find out, does he value marriage? You have to find out more about his childhood. You have to find out more about his likes and dislikes. You have to pay attention and observe. That's the first stage. And once the first stage begins, that's all you're doing, you're observing. The second thing you're going to do, for 90 days, you're not going to nag. You're not going to correct. You're not going to complain. You're not going to do any of those things. Trust. That's the reason why I told you the first two rules, because you need to pay attention to those. If they have those things going on, like if there's already, he's already cheating, then I'm going to tell you to abort mission. Don't go for it. Yes, you can get the ring, but is the ring going to be valuable on your finger? It probably won't. Don't sacrifice your mental health for a ring. Trust me, it's not worth it. Let it go. Abort mission. That's the reason I gave you my first two rules. You look at those first two rules and be like, okay, so for 90 days, I can't nag. I can't correct him. I can't complain. And then the third thing you're going to do is You're going to activate the reward center. You want to activate the reward center as much as possible. Remember, the male's brain and the male hormones, they are very sensitive to the reward center in the brain. The reward center is where dopamine flows happily in his blood. And this is the reason why they like appreciation, compliments, and intimacy. And I taught this in Unlocking the Male Mind. And I taught you how to use these things. So I'm going to teach you how to use it in this one, just so you have something to go off of and do. So if you're going to activate the reward center in a man, and all men have that reward center, they're just more sensitive to it than women are. We have it also. So let's say let's talk about the trash. I don't know. Y'all always on social media talking about a man don't take trash out. He don't cook. He don't do any of those things. I told you, I don't have those problems. My man do all that and more. Okay? So I don't have those problems. So if you're going to activate the reward center in a man, the first thing you need to do is appreciation. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say he hasn't, or he's taking out the trash for you. You're going to be like, oh, babe, you take out, thank you for that. You just saved me some time. I appreciate you just taking out the trash for me. Like, baby, nobody does it like you. Lay it on thick. This 90 days, you're laying it on thick. Yes, you're that girl. You're going to appreciate, you're going to compliment, and intimacy. See, the thing is, a lot of the misconception about men is that men only value sex. Let me tell you about men. Men don't get touched. Men don't get touched like you. Most time, people are trying to get away from men's touch, so they don't get touched. And they're human beings also. Since they're human, that's the reason why their main love language is physical, because they don't get touched like that. So you need to make sure, if you're going to use intimacy as a way to activate the male's reward center, then use hugging, use a kiss on the cheek, you can use just a touch, because a touch from a woman that a man is attracted to, that brings about dopamine, that brings about those happy hormones, that makes him feel good. So you want to activate that reward center as many times as you can. I want you to think of it as points. Like through this 90 days while you're doing the whole process, I want you to think of it as points, for real. I want you to be like, I'm going to do it like 3 times in one day to get as many points as I can in these 90 days and rack up. So intimacy is currency. Never forget that. See, this is where women drop the ball at, because they think, oh, he just want to have sex. He just want to knock these boots. He just want to, rub on some booty. Yeah, men love sex. They absolutely do. But intimacy is currency because of him being born a man. Most people are trying to move away from men, not come closer. So I want you to up the intimacy. I want you to up touching him. I want you to up hugging him. I want you to up doing all those things, but having sex. You don't have to up your sex life either. Just up the intimacy if you're already currently involved with them. So now, once you started activating that reward center and you've gotten good at it and you started collecting a lot of points, like I said, think of it as a game. Think of it as a collecting points all day long and just getting as many as you possibly can with them. I want you to stop eating at just restaurants. Y'all are boring. And the reason I'm saying that, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm saying you're missing out on prime bonding. If you want to have him attached to you, you want him to be like glue to you. You want him, like right now, me and my husband has been married for 23 years. We cannot sleep apart. Do y'all know why we can't sleep apart? Because we are attached and we are bonded and we are in love. But you know how that happened? Some of the things I'm teaching you in this live stream. Okay? Even when he goes on business trip, do you know who got to go with him? I do. And I don't like sleeping in hotel rooms or strange beds, but I still go because it's either I am going to miss out on sleep and be walking around like a zombie because I need my hours of rest. Absolutely. So I just go with him on his business trips and I just count it as a vacation. So that's the reason why sometimes I'm not up here, because I done went on a business trip with my husband because we can't sleep apart. But y'all are missing out on the ability to attach and bond. And stop just going to these restaurants. I suggest that after the third date, you start going to places where you're going to bond. So let me give you some examples of where you can bond and how you can kind of do things that's going to connect and start that attachment process. Even though it takes years to happen, you can simulate it. You can create it where it feels like attachment, but it's just dopamine running through a system. That's the science behind it. Y'all know I'm a geek, I'm a nerd. But I love this stuff because it's helped me also in my marriage. So bonding activities. Instead of going to a dry restaurant and looking across from each other and eating food. I love 5-star restaurants just like the next girlie, but it gets boring. So the last time that we went to an escape room. This gives me the opportunity to activate the reward center and let him get us out of that room. Because I'm a scaredy cat. So once he gets us out, I'm like, oh my gosh, babe, I was so scared. You got us out of there. I'm so proud my man got us out of there. Like you think it sounds crazy when women tell y'all to do this stuff. I'm telling you, there's a scientific reason why men operate the way that they operate. It is based off their brain and their hormones. Once you learn that, it becomes very simple to deal with the man. They're easy to deal with. So you want to do bonding activities. If you're going on restaurant dates and this is someone you're very serious about, stop going to restaurant dates and switch over to bonding activities. Go to escape rooms, cook together, dance together, go golfing together. I'm not much of an outdoorsy person, so I'm gonna suggest hiking. That's something that bonds people together. That's if you like it. It depends on you. Okay. You can go paintballing. Like there's so many different things. What you want to do, the goal of a bonding date is for you to go out together and for him to save you, or for you to work together, for you to communicate, for you to create a plan. This connects you all. And he can literally lose. And you can, as long as he is not a bad sport in losing or winning and that type of thing, then you all will be more connected because you went into the whole situation. You created a plan. You activated your plan. You focused in and you worked together. The more that you work together on a date or on some type of bonding date, the more connection you will feel with him and the more he will feel more connected to you. So you want to get away from, during the 90 days, no more restaurant dates. You're going to go on only bonding activities. And what I want you to do, if it's things that y'all are not normally doing, start being like, hey, show him the thing. This is what I do, right? When I want something, and this is how I always get what I want, because I always prep him to get what I want. I do not rely on a man to know what I want. I show my husband, like I had a birthday last week, and he got me the Gabrielle bag. I showed him that bag a couple of times before my birthday. So he knew what I wanted. It was just easy for him to go and purchase it and for him to give it to me. And that's what women need to do. You have to realize, just Erase all this nonsense that your man can read you. He can't. He has to learn you. I want you to think about every man is programmed and customized for another woman, not you. Your job is to customize him. Your job is to customize him for you. And you can do it. This is how you're going to get that ring on your finger in 90 days. Or you don't have to get it on 90 days, but you want him to like really be serious about you. So number 4 is the bonding dates. The last thing is once after the bonding date, you want to activate his heroism. Men have that hero instinct. You want to activate that as much as possible. You want to, even if he isn't the best player, find something that he did good at and play it up. Play it up. And just rinse and repeat. And you will have a ring on your finger in 90 days. If that's what you desire. Like I said, every woman don't want it in 90 days. But you could be planning your wedding by the end of the year. If you want it. Okay, so let me see what everybody's saying. I heard if a man walks ahead of a woman, he hates her, doesn't like her, or love her. There's men, and I talked about this in Unlocking the Male Mind. Okay, that's why y'all got those workshops is in my bio. That's a lot of work breaking down men so they can be simple to you. But yes, men tell through their body language, but before they tell through their communication. So if he's walking ahead of you and he's not being protective of you, then there's an issue. I always say women should go for a walk with a man. So his body language can tell you before his communication does. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of an exception because we love those, right? To a certain degree. He may have not been taught. That's the only other issue that could come up. He may have not been taught. There are a generation of men who have not been taught about certain ways to deal with things. But you'll still be able to see the protection in his body language when you're out and about. Does he kind of lean towards you and kind of stick close? Is he always kind of got his arm around the bottom of your back? Men tell through their body language before they do through their communication. And you can tell if he's on you and he wants to be with you based on the body language, because his body language is going to lean in. He's going to have his arms somewhere near you. He's going to kind of make himself bigger and into that space so that he can protect you. I saw a video you posted in your reel showing feminine touch a long time ago. I believe feminine communication. Absolutely. Reward system. Yep. That is so sweet. Bonding him, I would love to learn about this as well as minding my own business. One of the things I practice is minding my own business. That's the reason why you don't see me responding or getting in other people's space in that matter, because I mind my business. That's how you stay young. What dates? Any other dates other than escape room? All right, so it's going to be something that's going to allow you all to focus on each other, communicate, and plan something. So you can cook together, okay? You can dance together. You can go golfing. You can go, if you like physical activities, you can go hiking. You can go paintballing. The thing is, you want something where it's not focused on the external. It's not focused on it. You want to have the opportunity so you can work together. That's what it's about. It's about working together and him having to protect you while you work together, and him being self-aware of you while you work together. That's going to create that bond. Oh my God, the stream is not streaming. What happened? If I don't post pictures on social media, will my man be tempted to cheat because he sees other women pics on Instagram? We don't live together. What do you mean post on social media with men to be tempted to cheat because he sees other women? Men like privacy. Like, y'all don't understand. Men don't care for the social media stuff. The ones that y'all see on social media, either they're making money on social media, or they just want to be heard because they're not heard in real life. Those are only two types of men that are there. Either they're making money or they want to be heard. But the majority of men do not care about social media. And when I say that he's addicted to social media, I mean he's always on somebody's app. He's always on Instagram. He's always on TikTok. He's always on YouTube. He's always on somebody's app, and he's not doing anything else. He's not moving himself forward in life. A man, and the thing is, let me tell y'all something. I don't talk about cheating because you can't, there's no way to stop a man from cheating. A man has to make a choice that he will not cheat. You can be the best woman that you can be, and he can still do something like that. So there's no way to stop a man from cheating. That's the reason why you won't see those videos being made by me. Because I think it's ridiculous. As a married woman myself of 23 years, I've seen it all. I've seen divorces, because of cheating. And I've seen women who are absolutely wonderful and they still get cheated on. So the only thing you can do, you can't stop a man from cheating. So if you want to post don't post pictures for him, post them for yourself. And during this process of 90 days, if you're trying to get a ring in 90 days, I would say don't post any pictures. Go quiet. Go quiet. Don't post any pictures. So someone can't bond and then bond later. That's what is happening with these 10 and 12 loan proposals. The thing is, a person can bond later. Bonding has nothing. The 10 to 12 years is because I didn't want to go down this path, but I'm gonna go down here because you opened the door, and I'm never fearful of walking through any door. A man that is keeping you for 10 to 12 years and give you no proposal, a lot of times it has something to do with freedom. And that's the reason why during that 90 days of time, you're not going to do anything to make him feel as though he's losing his freedom. Because he's looking at either he doesn't value marriage, and it's not something that's come up in his family. It's a whole generation of people who've never been married. But a lot of times when they look at it and they see everything they're receiving, it's about the freedom piece. Like any man would tell you, it's about freedom. Like if it's 10, 12 years, it's about freedom. It's being scared that they're going to lose something and getting married. So that's the reason why you're going to take that away during that time. My man has social media, but I don't post on social media. So I'm curious if he will be tempted by other women. I think you should not worry if you're going to be tempted by other women. Like, if he's going to be tempted, he will be tempted with social media or without. I don't think there's nothing you can do about that if he's tempted. That was supposed to have a question mark behind it. I'm sorry, no problems. Can a woman be half a dream girl? I was told I was closest thing he was to meet to the girl of his dreams. Half a dream girl. See, the thing is, this conversation is not about you being the dream girl, because I don't believe now if you be with a man that you want, and this sounds like a man that you want, okay? Being with the man that you want, and that's what it sounds like. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because based off what I'm getting from the context and the information you're giving me, it sounds like this is the man that you want. And see, when you want to become a dream girl, every woman should desire to become the dream girl of her dreams, not the dream girl for a guy. And the reason for that, you are putting yourself in that position where you're gonna have to always figure out how to fit in his life. So this is the guy that you want. This is probably not the guy that you need. And so you have to decide, do I want to go down this path? And it can be a rocky path messing with a guy that you want instead of the guy that you need. So can you still get the ring? Yes, absolutely. You can still get the ring. You can still become his wife. How can a freedom-loving man ever be a good husband like yours? Somebody left my front door open. Okay. All men want their freedom. Even my husband do. Even my husband desires his freedom. They're men. See, men... when I tell women to think of women, just because I say they're simple, I don't want you to think that they can be caged, because they can't. All men seek freedom, even my husband. The thing is, I have created space so my husband can be himself without anything of me trying to change him or make him my project. And that's the reason why he shows up as the best man that he can be. Because he has those freedoms. See, the thing is, a lot of us as women, we believe that if we figure out how to, uh, you know, you know, put this man in a position where he can't make choices or he doesn't have freedom, that we will be able to keep him and control him to a certain degree. And I'm telling you, never go into that type of situation. It's just a situation that's going to lead to heartbreak down the line. So all men are free to love him. The thing is, I want you to ask yourself this question. If I give him the freedom that he so much desires, would I want to be with him? That's what you need to ask yourself. Because all men want freedom. No man is perfect either. And since they all want freedom, if you give him the freedom and it was no holds bar and it was no rules and it wasn't nothing, you weren't ever trying to box him in or change him, would he be the man that you want to be with in the first place? How do we suggest something? How do we suggest something to a man? Can we say, babe, I would love us to go golfing this week? I would say, this is what I would do. If I want to go somewhere, and me and my husband are like oil and water as far as hobbies. He is a guy that he likes games and he likes puzzles. He likes those things. I like to read. I read more than I actually watch TV. So we're like oil and water, but our values are similar. So what I do, I'm like, babe, I would really love to go here. Look at here. Look at this place. This place would be a great vacation. Like, I could just see myself there, just enjoying. We can be enjoying ourselves. Look, they even have a hot tub. You already know what that means. Like, that is what I would do. I wouldn't even say, hey, I would love us to go to this place this week. I would just give him the problem and let him solve it. Men love to be handy. They like to solve things. And this is how also you let a man get to work for you. Like, this is how you get him to work for you. You give him the problem and let him solve it. And you keep doing it over and over and over. And if you've ever seen those videos where the girl is like, oh, all I do is tell my husband or my man the problem and he goes and solves it and he takes care of it. That's how my husband is. And that's because I don't tell him how I want to solve the problem. I don't tell him when I want to go. In that example, I didn't even tell him I want to go this week. I just tell him, hey, I want to go here. I can just see myself having fun there. Can't you just see us having dinner at this 5-star restaurant that serves your favorite meal? Can't you just see us? And he'd be like, I can. Next thing I know, he's going to book it. Thank you for your words. This man was seeking other women, and quite frankly, I encouraged it. And see, that's the thing about it. He already has his former reward. And any man that has the former reward, you're setting yourself for a more rocky relationship and more problematic. That's the reason why my first 2 rules, I don't care if you want to get that ring in 90 days, a year, 2 years, you have to look, and number 1 is vet thoroughly. Okay? I have categories that you're supposed to vet when I say vet thoroughly. But I'm going to say, if you're a lazy vetter, at least vet his values. Make sure your value system is aligned, and then make sure he doesn't have any addictions. Make sure he doesn't have an addiction to sex, porn, power, control. He doesn't have any of these addictions, because if he has addictions, you can never take the place of the reward. It's going to be hard for you to activate the reward center in a man that has something that gives him the reward. Some men like eternal bachelors, like this man seemed to want it more. I have to watch a pattern video. I didn't want to sleep with him because I was concerned about pattern. Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you this. Men want companionship. Being alone is not something simple for men as it is for women. And I'm not saying that based off to get involved in this gender war that a man is better or a woman's better. Erase that from your brain. That's not this page. I encourage women and men to get together and come together. So I only have an hour of live stream. I'm going to have to do a part 2. So we don't have to go and activate the part 2. because something happened. I don't know why Instagram do me like this. That's the reason why it's hard for me or desire to want to go live.